before the bank balance increases, before the headlines break, before the empire, there is silence. No applause, no evidence, only a whisper of potential and a decision to believe in something no one else can. That's where it starts. Not in strategy, not in saving, but in thought, in choice, in identity. The millionaire mentality isn't developed out in the open. It's forged in solitude, in the quiet hours early in the morning before the world wakes up, in the wars that take place behind your eyes. You don't become a thinker like a millionaire by reading a book and watching a video once. You think like a millionaire by killing the version of yourself that doesn't believe, every day, until nothing is left but faith. Let me tell you something you were never taught in school. Money is not something you pursue, it's something you become. And until you become the type of person who can handle the burden of money, money will elude you. It will pass through your fingers like sand, because you haven't earned it in your mind. Millionaire mentality is not about being money-obsessed. It's about being possibility-obsessed. It's about identifying as the creator, rather than the consumer. The driver, not the passenger. People wait for the ideal time, the ideal plan, the ideal feeling. But the millionaire mind understands perfection doesn't exist. It has to be built, piece by piece, through disciplined thought and deliberate action. This is where most fail. They don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they never made the decision to become undeniable. A millionaire thinks differently. Where others see problems, they see puzzles. Where others doubt, they decide. Where others wait for opportunity, they become opportunity. In silence, you must ask yourself the real questions. Who am I becoming? What do I believe about wealth, success, and possibility? Do I think like a survivor, or like a sculptor crafting destiny? Here's the brutal reality. If your mind is filled with scarcity, no plan will save you. No hustle will be enough. You will hustle and still get nowhere. Because you've never upgraded the operating system in your head. But if your mind is coded for creation, for certainty, for value, then not even 1,000 setbacks can stop you. This has nothing to do with wishing. Wishing is passive. Thinking like a millionaire is active. It's a mind exercise. It's about commanding your thoughts like a commander commands an army. You have to train your mind like a soldier. You have to declare war on mediocrity each and every day. And you have to win, particularly when nobody is looking. Silence is where it starts. In the middle of the night, when the world slumbers and you wake up. In choosing to believe before you see proof. In the self-discipline to practice your vision until it materializes. That's where millionaires are made. Not in the limelight, but in the darkness. So wake up. Don't just listen to this message. Become it. Sit in stillness. Look at the version of you that already possesses the life you desire. Listen to their voice. Feel their strength. And then go back out into the world. Not hoping, not wishing, but moving like it's already yours. Because in your mind, it is. Here's a secret the world keeps behind bank statements and luxury ads. Money won't change you. It will mirror you. Money is not a magnet that attracts success to the fortunate. Money is a mirror, showing you who you already are. If you're responsible, money amplifies your effect. If you're lost, it amplifies your confusion. If you're petty-minded, it amplifies your fear. Money doesn't change you. It reveals you. That's why so many individuals who pursue wealth never end up keeping it. Because they're pursuing the fruit and not the root. And the root is always identity. You want to draw in millions? Don't ask, how do I get rich? Ask, who do I need to become for wealth to feel natural? Because wealth isn't something that happens. It's not something you fall into. It's a way of being, a state of mind, a vibration. And the only ones who possess it are people who have become a match for it in their minds, in their emotions, in their spirits. A consumer mentality says, how do I get more? A millionaire mentality says, how do I make more? Notice the difference? Most people believe wealth is about getting. It's not. It's about aligning. Aligning your mind, your routines, your expectations with a version of yourself that already possesses the life you desire. You can't hide from money. You can't counterfeit success, because sooner or later, your financial truth will reveal your core beliefs. If you think small, your bank statement will reflect that. If you are afraid of success, your behavior will demonstrate it. And if you secretly believe you don't deserve more, no income strategy will rescue you. But reverse that. Begin to view yourself as a creator, as someone of value, as someone who improves the world with their mind, their words, their work. And now money begins to pursue you, because money is drawn to clarity, to confidence, to certainty, to individuals who walk like they already fit in the room. That's what great thinkers do. They don't wonder, can I afford it? They wonder, how do I make this happen? And they take action, quickly, decisively, with no uncertainty. You don't have to have more income first. You need a new identity. An identity that affirms, I am a builder, I am a leader, I am a wealth creator. Repeat it often enough. Believe it completely. Then act on it, before the payoff appears. For the mind that believes beforehand always gets there first. So quit focusing on money as the prize. Focus on money as feedback. Feedback on your thoughts. Feedback on your habits. Feedback on your worth to the world. Upgrade your inner world, and the outer will obey. You don't fix your financial life with hustle alone. You fix it with alignment, by living in harmony with wealth before the world sees it. This is not fantasy. This is law. So today, don't ask, where's the money? What is my money trying to show me? And then rise into the person who welcomes it. Not by luck, but by identity. Each skyscraper begins with a blueprint. Each empire begins with a vision. And each millionaire begins with clarity. But listen up. Vision without discipline is hallucination. Anybody can dream. Anybody can envision the mansion, the private plane, the life of complete liberty. But few possess the passion to create it. Vision is what you see when your eyes are shut. Discipline is what you do when everybody is watching. And more importantly, when nobody is watching. Most individuals never become their vision, not for lack of desire, but for lack of structure. They had ambition without application. They were motivated, but untrained. You can't construct anything concrete if your actions are random. You require consistency. And consistency comes only from one thing: discipline. Discipline is not punishment. It's power. It's selecting your future over how you feel. It's getting the work done even when you don't want to. The millionaire doesn't wait for inspiration. They demand it. They construct habits that cement the vision, brick by brick. They don't say, do I feel like it? They say, what do I need to do in order to be the person I declared I would be? You want a fortune? Build one, mentally, emotionally, strategically. You need vision to see where you're going. But you need discipline to lay every step of the path. The issue is that everybody lives like leaves on the wind, gliding from fad to fad, hoping something takes hold. But the millionaire mind is anchored, planted, focused. When they decide, they don't vacillate. When they make a choice, they don't glance over their shoulder. That's how you become unstoppable. When your vision is so sharp it is your guiding star, and your self-discipline becomes your daily transportation. You rise before the world. You plan your days like an architect. You defend your mornings like holy ground. No more checking your phone the minute you wake. No more distractions masquerading as opportunities. You know what matters. You do what matters. And that's how you achieve what matters. Clarity and consistency. That's the formula. Don't fall in love with the outcome. Fall in love with the process that creates it. The daily habits. The mental repetitions. The silent sacrifices nobody applauds. And when it becomes difficult, because it will, you don't back down. You don't renegotiate. You recall. You recall the vision. You recall the cost. You recall who you said you'd be when you were hungry, determined, and ready to change your life. Vision is the why. Discipline is the how. Without one, you roam. Without the other, you wait. But with both, you triumph. Millionaires don't pursue. They attract. And the key? detachment from outcomes, alignment with purpose. Get this, desperation repels, purpose attracts. When your energy is attached to outcomes, you live the emotional roller coaster. When you receive what you want, you're high. When you don't, you spiral. That's not mastery. It's reliance. Millionaires do not build empires in that state. They get around differently. They work from intention, not fixation. They're dedicated to the vision, not possessed by it. They know a potent law of creation. You do the work, but you don't worship the result. You know, the universe doesn't react to begging. It reacts to belief. It doesn't reward fixation with when. It reacts to who you become. The result? That's just a reflection of your inner transformation. Pursue it, and it flees. Embodiment, and it flows. Consider the greats. Did Steve Jobs create Apple by freaking out about every product release? No. He set his mission to put a dent in the universe. That was his North Star. The products, the profits, they trail behind that purpose. Consider Elon Musk. Is he tallying daily profits? Or is he addicted to problem solving at scale? Energy, space, AI. Because his vision exceeds money? Millionaires don't quantify progress by numbers. They quantify it by alignment. Am I on the path? Am I being in integrity? Am I living the vision before the world gets a glimpse of it? That's detachment. That's power. It doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care so deeply that you won't let short-term results rattle you. It means you continue to build, continue to show up, and continue to grow, no matter the applause. Because purpose is forever. Results are temporary. If you're only working to get rich, your fire will burn out. But if you're working to fulfill a mission, to solve real problems, to serve something greater than ego, then no failure can break you. Because you're not in it for approval. You're in it for impact. The average person utters, "If it does not happen within 3 months, I will give up." The millionaire utters, "Even if it takes 3 years or 30, I will not stop until it is accomplished." That is the level of commitment needed. Release from requiring quick wins. Release from requiring approval. Release from needing to get there. Instead, lock into purpose. Ask yourself, who do I want to serve? What pain do I want to remove? What kind of legacy am I creating? Because when you get behind that, you become magnetic. You move with strength. You live with peace. Because your identity is no longer based on winning. It's based on becoming. And when that happens, the money arrives. The opportunities arrive. The accolades arrive. But by then, it's not even about that anymore. It's just the natural reverberation of who you've become. That's the truth most people won't share with you. You get rich the minute you quit focusing on getting rich and start living your purpose. Before the world cheers, before the money pours in, before the dream materializes in the physical, you need to win where no one observes, inside. The biggest illusion of contemporary success is this. Individuals pursue outer outcomes, never mastering the inner game. But listen to this fact, and listen well. You can't outperform your self-concept. You can't out-earn your thought. And you can't build externally what you deny internally. This world isn't holding their breath for your grind. It's waiting for your alignment. Your mind is the battlefield. Your thoughts are the soldiers. And every day, you are either marching toward your empire or giving it away without a fight. Most people construct resumes, not character. They hone skills, not awareness. They pursue likes, but never become a master of focus. And they marvel why success eludes them. Because the truth is, what you build in silence resounds louder than what you shout in public. The millionaire you look up to? They didn't start with money. They started with clarity. They understood this fact. Your thoughts are builders. They construct the blueprint of your life. If you think like a victim, you will never lead. If you think like a follower, you'll never be the owner. But if you start to think like a visionary, a creator, a builder, you become dangerous. Because now, the world can't control you. Now, failure doesn't determine you. Now, rejection cuts sharp. You start walking differently. Not arrogant but assured. Because your confidence is not external. It's hardwired. It's programmed in discipline, in repetition, in quiet wins no one applauds for. You cease being reactive. You begin being purposeful. You no longer wake up hoping the day will be a good one. You make it so. You no longer search for motivation. You act with identity. You no longer seek validation. You validate yourself in action. The inner game is merciless. It will challenge all the lies you've assumed, all the excuses you've made, all the boundaries you've accepted. But if you overcome it, you become immovable. Because the man who overcomes his mind cannot be overcome by circumstance. If you wish to entice millions, you first need to become valuable. Because money is not a payoff for appearing. It's a measure of the value you contribute to the world. Stop running after money. Begin to ask yourself this. What problem do I solve better than anyone? You see, wealth isn't about having more. It's about contributing more. More clarity, more skill, more impact. You don't have to be flashy. You need to be useful. Remember Steve Jobs. He didn't pursue $1 billion. He pursued a vision. He pursued simplicity. He pursued change. And the billions followed because he brought to the world what it didn't know it wanted. Value is the true currency. And the more scarce and sophisticated your value is, the more compelling your wealth will be. Here's the formula. Skill times service times scale equals wealth. But it begins with one. You. Build yourself. Invest in your mind. Polish your craft until you're so excellent that the market can't help but notice. Don't ask, how do I make money today? Ask, how do I solve problems at scale tomorrow? Because a paycheck stops with hours, but value creates an empire. Think about this. Wealth doesn't chase those who desire more. It chases those who become more. When you become someone of value, money follows. Opportunities multiply. Doors open that were previously closed. Not because you begged, not because you forced, but because you evolved. The world is noisy. It is full of opinions, distractions, and noise masquerading as wisdom. Everyone has something to say, but not everyone has walked the way. If you allow every whisper of doubt, every questioning voice, every passing fad in your mind, you will be overwhelmed by irrelevance. Millionaires, actual builders, not fakers, soon learn to quiet the outside and turn up the inside. They don't respond to every critic. They don't reply to every criticizer. They hear a signal, purpose, calling, intuition, and they tune out everything else. Here's the reality that few will admit. Clarity is not in the noise. It's uncovered in quiet. If you want to think like a millionaire, you must learn the discipline of stillness. Unplug. Disengage. Sit in solitude with your own thoughts until they yell louder than the world outside. All vision that defined the world began in isolation. Tesla wasn't scrolling. Carnegie wasn't reading gossip. They were locked in purpose. Monomaniac. Single-minded. Driven. Silence the noise. Listen to the signal. When you no longer respond to everything, you start to create something. Your empire won't be constructed by applause. It will be constructed by intent. Wealth is a frequency. Your mind is the transmitter. You're either broadcasting power or weakness, abundance or lack, growth or stagnation every day. Those you surround yourself with, what you watch, what you read, they all adjust your frequency. And if you are with people who doubt, make excuses, and have little minds, your own mentality will shrink to fit their world. Millionaires don't allow low-frequency environments. They protect their gates. They don't waste their time. They're careful with their energy and are merciless about whom they let into their mind. Ask yourself this. What are you letting into your mental space? Are you fueling on mediocrity, or are you fueling on purpose? Are you resonating with visionaries or bitching with victims? Because the truth is this. Your frequency brings you your future. If you desire wealth, elevate your standards. If you desire opportunity, elevate your energy. If you desire greatness, put yourself among people who expect it from themselves. Condition your mind to work at a frequency where doubt cannot exist, where fear cannot grow, where your mere presence changes rooms and your energy opens doors. You are not merely creating wealth. You are becoming wealthy. And that journey starts by choosing which energy you let in and which you keep out forever. The world celebrates what it can see: cars, homes, numbers, applause. But what the world never shows you is the dark. The early mornings with no praise. The long nights with no comfort. The failures that stack silently behind every success. The pain. The doubt. The invisible grind. Millions are not created in public. They are created in private. While everyone else sleeps, they build. While everyone else scrolls, they read. While everyone else waits for motivation, they act. You want wealth? Stop searching for a spotlight. Begin searching for a shadow. Because at night, distractions perish. Excuses disappear. And everything that is left is your choice. It's not ability that sets the rich apart. It's perseverance. Can you report to work when nobody's expecting it? Can you remain disciplined when outcomes are not immediate? Can you keep hoping in your dream despite your own reality telling you otherwise? Most people bail here. But it's here that millionaires are created. The world will applaud when you get there. But you earn that applause in silence. You construct your reputation where no one watches. In the shadows. Here's a truth that will break the old way of thinking. You don't work to attract wealth. You attract wealth by being the person who has it. Effort without identity is like traveling without a map. You hustle all day, but if your mind remains convinced you're broke, average, or just getting by, wealth will always be fleeting. Millionaires think in terms of identity, not action. They don't dream of being rich. They are rich, in mind, in thought, in attitude. Well before the money arrives, ask yourself, who are you becoming? Are your thoughts congruent with wealth? Is your self-image deserving of wealth? Or are you stuck in old tapes that play, I'm not enough, I don't deserve this, people like me don't get rich? Because here's the truth. The mind won't accept what the identity denies. Change the story, and you change the result. Begin behaving as the person who already possesses the outcomes. Make choices from there. Talk from there. Walk from there. The bank account will eventually follow the system of beliefs. Wealth is not a destination. It's a reflection of who you think you are. Then upgrade the belief. Upgrade the identity. Upgrade the results. You've heard the phrase, your network is your net worth. But most people misunderstand it. They think it means collect contacts, attend events, hand out business cards, DM people with opportunities. Wrong. Millionaires don't network in the shallow sense. They align. They don't chase rooms. They become the reason rooms chase them. Understand this. People of high value move toward other people of high value. It's magnetic, automatic, inevitable. If you are constantly trying to break into certain circles, that's a sign you haven't yet become the person those circles can't ignore. The truth? Your goal is not to find power. Your goal is to become power. Here's the shift. Stop asking, who can help me? Start asking, who can I help? The right people. The real players see through neediness instantly. They are drawn to creators, leaders, and builders who bring value to the table. And here's the deeper truth. You don't even have to talk much. Your work, your discipline, your results, they speak the loudest. You don't chase influential people. You operate at such a high level that they notice you naturally. That's the secret. Not all proximity is power. Only aligned proximity is power. If your circle is full of complainers, you'll normalize complaining. If your circle is full of risk takers, you'll normalize courage. If your circle is full of builders, you'll normalize empire thinking. Look at your current circle. Does it stretch you? Does it force you to level up? Or does it keep you comfortable? Millionaires are ruthless about this. They prune relationships like a gardener prunes a tree. Not because they hate the branch, but because they know it's stealing energy from the fruit. You want wealth. Become someone wealth wants to be around. Not because you're loud. Not because you're impressive. But because your energy, skill, and vision demand respect. That's when the doors open. That's when introductions happen. That's when the network becomes your net worth. Because you are the asset. This is the part most people don't want to hear. The price of wealth is always paid before the reward. In full. With interest. The world will not give you credit for almost. It will not pay you for good intentions. It will not reward you for wanting it badly. It rewards proof. It rewards sweat. It rewards the relentless who refuse to quit long enough for the results to have no choice but to appear. This is why most people never make it. They underestimate the price. They think it's a weekend of hard work. They think it's a few months of discipline. They think it's something they can fit between Netflix episodes. It's not. It's everything. It's mornings when you'd rather sleep. It's weekends when you'd rather rest. It's saying no to short-term pleasure so you can say yes to long-term power. Millionaires are not luckier. They are more willing. Willing to be uncomfortable. Willing to be misunderstood. Willing to pay now for a freedom that others will still be renting 20 years from now. This is why your results will never lie to you. They are the most honest mirror you'll ever look into. They tell you exactly how much you've paid. Exactly how far you've gone. And the truth is, wealth comes with interest. Not only do you get the reward, but you also get the compound effect of every small decision you made when no one was watching. So ask yourself today, are you really paying the price, or are you still bargaining? Because you can't negotiate with greatness. The price is set. The question is, will you pay it? The poor think in days. The middle class thinks in months. Millionaires think in decades. This is the difference between chasing quick wins and building empires. Short-term thinking is why most never escape the grind. They trade tomorrow's fortune for today's comfort. And then wonder why life feels like an endless repeat of yesterday. Millionaires have mastered the art of delayed gratification. They understand that the biggest trees take the longest to grow. They're not seduced by fast money. They know that if it comes fast, it usually goes faster. They are playing a different game. One that most people can't even see. While others chase trends, they're building foundations. While others are obsessed with this month's revenue, they're focused on next decade's legacy. While others are trying to look successful, they're quietly becoming unshakable. This is why you rarely see a true builder panic in a crisis. Because they're not living for this quarter's numbers. They're playing a game so long that temporary setbacks feel like raindrops on a fortress. You want to win? Stretch your timeline. See 5 years where others see 5 weeks. Plan 20 years ahead when others can't see past Friday. And here's the magic. The moment you extend your horizon, the pressure shifts. You stop needing to win today. You start making moves that matter. You start building with patience instead of panic. Play long, and you'll win big. Every time. Here's the greatest truth of all. Before the world sees the skyscraper, you must build the foundation inside yourself. Wealth is an inside-out game. If your internal architecture is weak, no amount of external success will hold. That's why lottery winners go broke, why viral sensations fade, and why overnight success rarely survives a decade. The empire starts in your habits, in your standards, in your self-talk, in your ability to keep promises to yourself when no one else cares. If you think small, your empire will be small. If you operate from fear, your empire will be fragile. But if you operate from certainty, clarity, and conviction, your empire will be inevitable. You don't get wealthy by accident. You get wealthy by design. And that design begins with the blueprint you hold in your mind and the discipline you live in your days. When you've built the millionaire within, the outer world has no choice but to reflect it. Here's the part no one can ever take from you. Your mind. Lose your business? You can rebuild. Lose your money? You can earn it back. Lose your connections? You can form new ones. But lose the mindset, and you lose it all. The true millionaire is not the one with the biggest bank account. It's the one who has become so certain, so skilled, so aligned, that no matter what happens, they cannot be kept down. Your wealth will come and go. Your status will rise and fall. Your path will twist and turn. But your mindset? That's the empire you carry everywhere you go. So stop chasing money. Stop chasing success as the world defines it. Instead, build the mind that makes all of it inevitable. Because when you think like a millionaire, you can lose it all today and be richer than ever tomorrow. That's the truth. That's the game. And now, it's yours.